In conversation with Anna Davies. Anna Davis left her home in Idaho to pursue her dream of becoming an author. Her debut novel, His Name is Grace, won the International Review of Books Gold Badge of Achievement in 2022. Besides being an author, she also runs her own freelance editing business called Inkwell Editing. And on today's episode of Author Interview, it's my utmost pleasure, joy and excitement to have on the show today, Anna Davis. How are you doing today, Hannah?
I'm doing great, Peter.
It's lovely we are here again to have a lovely conversation around your beautiful book. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
All looks exciting. Yeah, so Hannah, I need to first say that I love the
Mhm.
description of his grace. His name is Grace. It sounds to me to be quite compelling, so captivating, quite intriguing, and well inspiring. And I would like to start by asking you the many obvious question most authors get asked. What inspired you to write this book? What is the foundation to the making of it? When was it you realized you wanted to sit down, write a book, and even titled it His Name is Grace? Could tell us, run us through the foundation, the making of this book.
Okay, well, I was really young when I
Yeah.
wrote it. I was 19. I didn't know what I wanted to do with life.
Mm,
Never mind, figuring out how to write a book. Like, that's an easy thing to do. Um, but during that time, I was trying to figure it out. And,
mm,
I knew I loved writing and I knew I wanted to be an author, but I needed to write something and kind of prove to myself that I could actually do it. But then when I was 19, I was going through all these emotions and not knowing what to do with myself. So when I started writing, it was very humble. It was on a notepad or on multiple sheets of random paper. But I didn't go into it with this mentality of I'm gonna write this amazing novel. I'm gonna hit all the tropes for the genre, and my character development is gonna be awesome. It was more like, help me figure out what I want to do. So I ended up writing this very deep story. My protagonist, Eric, goes through a lot of stuff.
mm,
Um, and in the story, I slowly you get to see how he goes through it, and in a
mm,
sense, that was helping me heal from my pain too.
mm.
So it's the story's fictional, but in a way, it's not.
I must say you've got a lovely, quite beautiful, intriguing start to becoming an author. That's a lovely foundation you've got in there. And I must say that it's so amazing how sometimes writing gives us a voice as an author. This is something you started not knowing even where it's leading you, not knowing how character is even going to develop, not knowing how the plot twist is even going to be. You're just following your heart and going gradually, and here we are but his name is Grace, which is very amazing. And I'd like you to raise the book to the camera just so it's what it
Sure,
looks
yeah.
like.
This is the cover that you can
That's a
get on Amazon
beautiful
now,
cover. Oh, look
and
at the
I won the
award good
award.
beach. Yeah, decided the meter. Beautiful. That's amazing. How do you feel winning that award, Anna?
Honestly, when I first got the email, I thought they sent it to the wrong person. I thought can't be from my book. It's for
That's so
somebody else.
funny.
It's not me. Um, but once I figured out, and it's like, oh shit, okay, this is for me. I did earn that, and it's
Mm,
hugely inspiring, especially when you spend, it's 2 in the morning and you're still up writing, and you're like, what the hell
yeah,
am I doing? I don't
yeah,
know. Sometimes you
yeah.
lose faith in your own actions, and it's just like, do I keep going or not? But the award did a lot for me in that regard.
Mm,
I knew
wow.
I had something to work with.
Wow. That's an amazing one, really. I love your take on that. And that's such a funny response you've got there. You thought, it's for somebody else. Maybe, oh, I'm not sure this email is for me. Maybe you're trying to send it to another Anna Davis. Are you sure I'm the right recipient of this email?
I didn't believe it.
It's an amazing feeling.
I
It
really
is an
did.
amazing
I thought,
feeling. Absolutely. I understand. Sometimes when I win some big stuff, I'm like, really? Oh, that's amazing. I never thought I'm good enough to, to badge this.
Mhm.
I never thought, oh, really? Okay. Oh, sometimes we can be our own worst critic. I think this is something that even pertain to most creative. This self-doubt, self like, oh, really? I never knew I can do that. When I begin to win something, be like, oh, wow, that's amazing. This awards, this recognition are proof that what you're doing is really worthwhile, that what you're doing is really impressive and it's changing lives. So it's always very good to receive some recognition and have some citation that yeah, your work matters, your voice matters, your writing matters. You've got a voice, you've got something out there you need to tell the world. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And Hannah, you also handle themes like loss, guilt, and grace with such sensitivity in your book. I wanted to ask you, were there moments when you had to pause, like the writing got too emotional for you, maybe?
This one scene in chapter 7,
Mm,
where my character Lorraine is going back through her memories and she's remembering how this other character, Ryan, used to be so much happier.
mm,
He had purpose and a drive in his life when the little girl, Allison, was still alive.
mm,
He loved her with all his heart.
mm,
But after she passed, it's like the lights just went out for him and
mm,
he lost a part of himself. And having to write that out in a scene, his affection for her, it really broke me up hard.
mm.
I think I had to leave and like go cry in the bathroom for 10 minutes and then come back and write it,
Wow,
100 words and I go cry again.
wow,
Yeah, that scene really broke me up.
wow. Wow, that must have been an emotional ride for you, really. Thank you for sharing that too. Now, I wanted to ask you, I would like you to
Mhm.
tell us much in deep about how you would describe your writing. How would you describe your writing? What kind of stories or topic do you gravitate towards? What are some of the themes and subject lines that we will find, the would-be reader would find picking up this book?
I'm a huge fan of psychological thrillers and murder mystery. I
Wow.
plan on writing four. I'm writing my
Wow.
second one, but consistently through all three books, you're going to be seeing that type of genre. It's
Mm,
just what I gravitate towards. It's what I find relatable.
mm,
You don't want to hire someone like me to do the job of writing a sci-fi. Like I can't connect with it like I can the way a murder mystery. It doesn't have the
mm.
same effect on me.
Wow. I love your take on that, really. Sounds to me to be quite amazing and quite fun. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And also wanted to ask you, how exactly did you get into writing? How long does writing this book take you? Also, were there big moments or inspiration that set you on this path to becoming a writer? I think I've got three questions in there, really. First of all, how did you first get into writing? Number two, were there big moments or inspiration that set you on this path? Would love to know much better. And how long it took you to finish the book?
Well, I used to have a hard time reading when I was a kid, like really
Okay.
bad.
Uh,
I was homeschooled my whole life, and my mom
oh,
said she's gonna learn how to read. She can learn. Basically ignored everyone else's comments of, nah, she's just gonna be one of those people that can't read. She needs discipline. She needs motivation. So in the beginning, obviously, it was hard for her because she's got this toddler. What she used to have me do was like read books and then like write a book report on it. It could be
really?
anything from Jack
Hmm.
London to I think one of them was a Nicholas Sparks novel.
Hmm.
A Walk to Remember. I did a
Wow.
book report on that. But what this did was help me like dissect the story, the characters, what motivated them to do this, and
Hmm.
think about how could have this been better, or how would if I wrote it, what would be different. So I started writing my late teens. I think I was like 17 or 16. I think it took me about 9 months, maybe a year.
Really? That's amazing.
The big moment for me was one day when I was working at my job
Hmm.
and my boss was like, go in the back and clean this It's this huge room, right? But it's filled with
Yeah,
antiques. I found this one copy of a Danielle Steele novel.
yeah.
Um, No Greater Love is what it was. I still have it. This is
You knew
the
you're
exact
gonna show
copy
it. Yeah,
that I
yeah.
have. Um, I started to read a little bit of it. I'm like,
Hmm,
oh my God, this is what I want to do. It was like a switch went off.
that's impressive. That's an amazing one, really. Thank you for sharing all of this. This is very amazing and quite inspirational, quite inspiring. Now, I want us to go now into the conversation around readers' feedbacks. Because one of the things that impressed me the most is to sit back, grab a cup of coffee, fold my hands, and listen to readers' feedback. And you may want to agree with me that one of the things that makes literature to be quite complex is the way that it can be interpreted by different readers based on their opinions. And sometimes the readers might get a message intended by the author. Sometimes they might be close to getting the message. Sometimes they might be far from getting the message. Sometimes they might be several kilometers away or several miles away, if possible. And as hilariously fun as this sound, I would like to ask you, how do you feel when readers interpret your work differently than you intended? How does that make you feel as a storyteller?
Well, I've definitely gotten hot and cold reviews. I've gotten reviews where people freaking loved it. I've gotten
Wow.
reviews where people hated it. Um, One particular review that I remember getting, I'm going to paraphrase it, but basically she told me that the book helped her understand her dysfunctional family and helped her heal
Mm.
from it. That
Oh,
is, in a nutshell, the best review I've ever gotten. And I've
wow.
gotten, a few other five-star reviews where they just really liked the story and they liked how it was written and things like, those are great too. I appreciate those. But what that one lady said was she really understood the message then. She understood that the purpose of the book was meant to heal,
Mm.
which is what it did for me. It was like therapy. And then there's the people that didn't like it so much. They found it too depressing. They couldn't get through it all. Well, you're missing the point of the story. Like you have to get to the end. You have to see what happens. And
Mm.
part of that is like my lack of experience in writing. I'll get better as the years go on, as I keep
Absolutely.
writing. It's one of those crafts where you get what you put in. So
Mm. Yeah,
keep writing, keep doing it because you will get better.
yeah. I love your take on that, really. And I love the fact that you mentioned, one of the beauty about writing is when readers give you feedbacks that really touch your heart, it can be such a satisfying and soothing experience for the writer. It is so satisfactory. Like, oh wow, I'm so excited. His writing is
Absolutely.
touching life. I'm excited people are finding it with all they're looking forward to. I'm excited they can see a part of themselves in my characters. It is such a satisfactory feeling of satisfaction and joy to the writer's heart. So yeah, I do understand that feeling. It's always a beautiful one, really. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Now, just apart from His Name is Grace, do you have any other works you're currently working on or you've authored?
Yes, I am currently writing the prequel to His Name is Grace. The title is going to be He Has a Name. So what
Wow.
happens in this story is we are going to go back in time to when Allison was still alive and what happened to her. Because in the first novel, I don't think I really explored that enough. And that was something that I got back from reviews. Like people were like missing that part of the story. So we're going to go back 17 years back when Eric was a young boy Matthew, before Matthew was killed when he was young as well too.
I must say that your title name are so uncommon and so lovely. I mean, you've got His Name is Grace. Now you're working on He Has a Name. It's kind of very biblical in nature, I would say, or a bit quite psalmist, and I do love that, really. I do love that.
Just the poet ending.
The poet in you is speaking.
Yeah.
That's so fun to know. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. I just wanted to ask you, as a published author, what sort of advice would you give other writers who are looking forward to writing and publishing a book in your particular genre? What would you tell people in this category?
I think Margaret Atwood said it best when she said, you want to be a writer, you gotta write.
Right.
Write more and you'll write better.
Mm,
You gotta work at it every day. Even if you get those bad reviews and people hate your book and you get discouraged, keep going because one day you're gonna be glad you did.
mm. Wow. That's a lovely advice you've got in there. And I'm hoping that viewers, even including myself, would love to utilize it. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. Now, I
Of
just wanted
course.
to ask again, yeah, from the process of you writing this book to getting it published, were there any challenges you encountered? If yes, how did you navigate and overcome them, if possible?
With the actual writing process,
Yeah,
probably just like not having a consistent schedule to sit down and do it.
and
Sometimes you might have to abandon the schedule for maybe a week or however works for you, but you gotta like master this art of being able to write when it's going through your head. If you start envisioning, having visualizations of a scene, and you're like, it would work so well for my book, write it down, get it out. Don't have this mentality of, I'm gonna remember. I'll remember this. No, you won't. You won't
you
remember, and you
can't,
won't
you won't
remember it in
remember.
the amount of detail that
Mm.
you need it.
Oh, wow.
So I would say that's my one challenge is just being attentive to that.
Yeah.
My own weird mind that doesn't always work the way I need it to.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that, and I resonate so well with that. And I think it's something that is very common among writers. More like we
Hmm.
have plotters and planners, that's fine. Now, when it comes to the actual time required in writing a book or whatever you're working on, depending on the genre, some people like to set time, like, okay, I'm gonna devote 2 hours, I'm gonna start writing by 12 to 2. But what happens when the inspiration do not come? And okay, I'm gonna write by 9 p.m. Now it's 9 p.m. and I'm staring blankly at the computer, trying to struggle. The inspiration is not coming. Well, this inspiration of a thing
Hmm.
comes quite
That happens so
erratically.
often.
It comes anytime. You can be driving and it just pop up in your head. I would stop and pen it down. I can be doing some house chores and it just pop up in my head. I would stop right there and go and pen it down. I can't be in any. It just come at certain time and go. Because if you say, I want to, I will remember, like, you will never remember, except you do a voice recording. If you do a voice
Oh,
recording or you just quickly type it down, that's the best way to do it because it's like a voice. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes, and it's very erratic in nature. It doesn't come at a particular set date, just like we are scheduling to meet an interview. It won't say, yeah, I'm not gonna come by that time. I'm not. Time you least expect, that's when it's gonna come to you. Beauty of writing, you know.
mhm.
Now left for the creator to make his or herself available for it. I love your answer to that, and I resonate so deeply with that, really. And just in case we have some viewers who are currently watching this interview, I would love to get a copy of your book. Its name is Grace. On what platform are they available on for purchase?
Right now, my book is only on Amazon. This is what it looks like. I have a
Mm.
paperback version, and I want to see it in a hardcover. So hopefully that's
Oh,
going to happen soon.
that'll be great. That'll be great. And I left a link in the description part of this interview for interested viewers. Get a copy of Anna Davis, His Name is Grace, directly on Amazon, Barnes& and Nobles, on our website, and also on other platforms. I also left a link to our social media pages for possible followings. So thank you so much, Anna, for accepting the invitation to be featured on P English Literature. And most of this conversation is so wholesome, amazing, lovely ride into the making of your book. His name is Grace. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Peter. I really appreciate the time you took to have this interview with me. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, and you too.